Hello, everyone, and welcome to Chiu Bowen Physics, Scientific Literacy Podcast. I'm your host, AI Chiu Bowen. Today, we're going to discuss two intriguing questions. One is a philosophical one. Is mathematics a science? And the other is a long-standing mystery in the math community. Why isn't there a Nobel Prize in mathematics? Many people instinctively say, of course it is. After all, we often talk about science, math, and engineering as a single group. It all seems lumped together. But when you think more carefully, you'll realize mathematics is not a science. What does that mean? Science typically refers to a method of understanding the natural world through observation, experimentation, and verification. Fields like physics, chemistry, and biology require instruments, experiments, and data to explain phenomena. But mathematics? Mathematicians don't need experiments. They don't need microscopes or telescopes. All they need is a pen, a piece of paper, or even just their mind to start reasoning, proving, and building theories. You could say mathematics is more like a tool, like a calligrapher's brush, a painter's palette, or a photographer's camera. The mathematician's tools are logic and abstraction. Math doesn't aim to describe the world as it appears, but rather explores the possibilities within logic itself. That's why the beauty of a mathematical proof lies not in its realism, but in its perfection. So, while mathematics is the foundation of science, it is not science itself. As teachers often say, if you fail your physics test, blame your math teacher. You didn't build the foundation right. But if you ace your physics test, be sure to thank your physics teacher. So the conclusion is this. Math isn't science, but it is the foundation and the tool of science. That's why people often say mathematics is the mother of science. But let's be honest, science has grown up. So to all the math teachers out there, please stop emotionally blackmailing us by saying math is the most important subject and all others don't matter. If that were true, then for every problem in physics, chemistry, or biology, we should just ask the math teachers. Can they really answer all of them? And here comes the big question. If math is so important, why isn't there a Nobel Prize for it? You may have heard this spicy rumor that Alfred Nobel's wife had an affair with a mathematician, and Nobel, out of spite, decided not to create a math prize. It's dramatic, but unfortunately, totally false. It's pure fiction, a kind of misinformation. Historical records show that Nobel never married, so there couldn't have been a cheating scandal. So what's the real reason? Let's look at Nobel's actual will. He wrote, "My remaining estate shall be used to establish a fund, the interest of which shall be distributed annually to those who, during the preceding year, have conferred the greatest benefit to humankind." That's the key, benefit to humankind. That's why the prizes are in 5 fields: physics, chemistry, physiology or medicine, literature, and peace. Mathematics wasn't included, perhaps because Nobel viewed math as too abstract. It doesn't involve experiments or instruments and doesn't directly improve human life. Math is the study of quantities, structures, changes, and space. It doesn't observe nature. It builds theoretical systems through logical deduction. From that perspective, math isn't a science. It's more like a form of pure philosophical gymnastics. But don't worry, the math world made up for it. You may have heard of the so-called Nobel Prize in Mathematics, the Fields Medal. It's awarded every 4 years and only to young mathematicians, typically those who've made major contributions before age 40. There's also a newer prize, the Abel Prize, established by the Norwegian government, which recognizes lifetime achievement in mathematics. So even though Nobel didn't create a math prize, mathematicians still have their stage of glory. Maybe it's precisely because math is so unique that it doesn't fit into the Nobel framework. It belongs to a freer, more abstract universe. Loudspeaker, if you're interested in physics, make sure to follow this podcast for more. Loudspeaker, and feel free to leave a comment on our social media. Tell us what concept you're struggling with, and we'll address them in future episodes. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time. Studio Microphone.